All right, guys. It has been a long journey. We're coming back. Gonna do another one of these platinum, I guess, series video, platinum trophy videos. So I just got the platinum here for Dragon Quest XI S. Now, there is actually two different versions of this. I am a pretty slow player a lot of the times. We could see I'm at 294 hours. Which is quite the long time. Like, if we just look at most played, it's like right up here, right behind Fortnite, guys, right behind Fortnite. And then here we go, Dragon Quest XI, finally completed. We could jump over here. Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite games I've played in quite some time. So I'm still kind of getting the gist of how I want to like structure some of these kind of like platinum trophy videos and stuff like that. I guess it might end up taking more like a kind of like a review type thing, but I just, this is one of my, I think, favorite games I've ever played ever. I am an old head. I love the old school turn-based RPG. This game is classic with that, like very, very, very classic. I guess like right around here, I'm talking about that. Maybe I'll show like a little bit of footage. So again, it was kind of like I was midway through this game and just about to finish JJK as well when I realized, like, you know, why don't I like just do like a video on getting these plats like that? That way we could kind of cover these, talk about some of the harder trophies in some of these. Like, we see this one is pretty rare. I mean, 2.8% here on PSN, so not exactly common. I don't really think it's like super hard though. More so just kind of like a time investment type thing. Here, let's just cut in just like a little bit of like the gameplay here.
見切れるか急ぐの剣絶妙に殺してくれる我が王に受けてみよう
So that's just kind of like an example, you know, again, like the old school turn-based content. Now I have recorded quite a few clips. You know, once I kind of decided I was going to be doing these platinum trophy type videos. I think that this will be good if we kind of like here. Let's sort kind of like by rarity. And let's kind of take a look here. Now, am I able to... I want to flip this. Yeah, okay. I just looked around. I guess in order to do it here on, like, PlayStation, kind of like in this order, we do have to kind of go, like down to up. Maybe we'll just use the trophy site I like to look at. And kind of take a look at that there then. Since we can... I think it'll probably work a little bit better if we're, you know, going, like, top to bottom rather than down to up. I mean, I don't know. I guess it doesn't make the biggest deal, but a lot of the trophies in this game are really just story-based things. So it's just by playing the game, a lot of the stuff is going to happen. You do so much crafting, right, that like that's going to happen pretty easily on. I do have kind of a trophy video of the crafting, and then I guess I'll just skip ahead just quite a bit, but we'll go right back down. It was when I crafted up the this right here, the Supreme Sword of Light here does actually get a trophy. Let's just show that quick. So that's just an example of kind of like the crafting element, and then again that leads to that trophy there, the swordsmith of light. So yeah, most of it is just kind of like basic story stuff. A lot of it doesn't really have, really, I mean, much to it. It's just, play the game, have fun, whatever. Some of the later stuff obviously starts to get a little crazy. But I mean, this is a game, I mean, as you guys can see, like I've been playing for quite a long time. And it was right around here. I mean, I guess that this is going to have like a lot of spoilers, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. This is a platinum video. So obviously, talking about like, like we're going to have footage of like the super mega secret boss that you have to beat to, get the platinum trophy and all that stuff, right? Well, I don't think you actually have to beat it, but there's multiple ways to get the last outfit, blah, 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 blah. So like right here, this world tree trophy, this is when the game kind of flips, and I was just like really blown away by it, like right at this moment. You get like a big huge reveal, and I mean there's kind of like story elements are very reminiscent to me of Final Fantasy VI, where the villain like wins, destroys the world, and then you end up like are almost starting from scratch with the main character, and you have to kind of like go through, right? Like you have to now find all your allies and, get strong enough to take down the big villain, which of course is the Lord of Shadows. And the little bit of footage I have in here that was already in the video, that was against that boss. Again, I started like recording a lot of the footage. I mean, when I'm doing these videos, I think getting a lot of footage for kind of like the later, harder trophies probably is what we should do, right? Most of these are still just all like story type stuff. So this is all still in the rare trophy bracket. Okay. And then now we get to very rare. Okay, so these, yeah, so this one, this is like the last trophy right before finishing the game in Act 3, yeah. This one, just finding different types of items, like, very slow player, exploring everything, doing a lot of crafting and stuff like that. This will come. I don't think that this one will be very difficult, right? Again, this will just come by playing the game a lot. Doing all the quests, I mean, they're pretty basic. The map will show where quests are and stuff like that, and you just go to them, they tell you what to do, you go do it. Like, that's nothing really too crazy. That's just collecting mini-medals. Mini-medals in this game, like, it's just like, like a collectible. Like, I don't know, like, so many different types of games have got these, right? But this one, there are, like, the specific spots where you can find all these mini-medals, but at the very end of the game, in Act 3, they are just straight up farmable. So it's like even like this is very easy to do. You just get towards the end of the game and you could just have your thief character just steal these basically at will, which is pretty easy. I guess one thing we can show when it comes to like the item and then also the completing the quests, I guess we could quickly show. I do have some footage here of one of the like the horse racing mini game, which can get some of that stuff done. Might as well put that in right here. I'll make sure to put commentary for this part, right? So, there are, again, quite a few different mini games and stuff like that, right? Like, this is very reminiscent to me of, like, one of the, like, old-school Final Fantasies. Like, back in the day, a lot of those games, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy IX, and stuff like that, they'd have just, like, a million different kind of, like, mini games, right? Even Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right, had kind of like a Fall Guys type minigame and stuff like that. Now, this is very easy, especially, too, in the Dragon Quest XI, like the S version, the definitive version that I'm playing. There is an item you can buy, which basically makes it so you have just, like, permanent, like, full stamina. When I'm going to get these platinums, right, it's like, we could take advantage of something like that. Like, yeah, we'll do it. So I believe the item is called the Golden Reins. So we have this right here, but this game really was quite easy, this mini game. But again, there's just a lot of little fun aspects like this that are prevalent throughout the game. All right, so continuing through here, let's see. Oh wow, okay, so just we're kind of like moving in order, so we get to like these rarities here. So this is next up, right? Okay, so this is just for max leveling every single character. And then here's this is just obviously beating the game, beating the final boss. But yeah, these are all max leveling a lot of the characters. And then finally we have the casino trophy as well. Okay, so leveling the characters is pretty easy. I mean, it takes a while. But in previous Dragon Quest games I've played, I think what I'm mainly referring to almost specifically is Dragon Quest VIII, where it felt like the leveling would go very, very slow in Dragon Quest VIII. Right here, I mean, I don't know if I was just having just so much fun or what, but I really did not like feel any issues with like slow leveling or anything like that. And then there is a pretty easy kind of like trick you can set up. I mean, the game doesn't make this very difficult to do here. Let's just go into this footage here and show this right here. All right, so this is kind of like a little bit of a trick you can do. I don't know if trick is really the right word, but you are able to get these items, these pep pops right here, which will put every character in the pep up state, which is, I mean, I don't know, like Final Fantasy VII, like it's like a limit break or something like that. And then characters, you know, kind of like, I don't know, like a Chrono Trigger. Although, I mean, Chrono Trigger's an old head game now too. But like, you know, we could like combine, like if, you know, various party members are, you know, pepped at the same time, we could use special abilities. This one, Hallelujah, right here, this is just kind of like, you know, I guess a slot machine or gambling or a chance, whatever. But what we're looking to get right here is, again, this is just like a RNG thing. Like there's a little bit of a wheel spin. We're looking to get extra increased experience from this. We do get lucky and we get that. Boom. So now, as we see right here, we get huge extra experience for, you know, completing the fight, right? And that's something we can only do when we're in that pep up status. So then we use another pep pop. You're able to just purchase these. It's very expensive, and it does take a little bit of grinding to get there, but you're able to buy these, so it's, you know, not that bad. So we can pop this one, and then we use another pepped up kind of like combo ability right here, Electrolyte. Now this has the chance to transform the enemies into metal slimes, which in Dragon Quest, that's kind of like the big enemies that will give you huge, massive amounts of experience, right? So here, we already have it where this fight, we're going to get huge bonus experience, and then we get the enemies with the biggest experience gains in the entire game, which is the Vicious King Metal Slime. We got one of these bad boys right here. And then we also make sure that we got a team which is capable of killing them, because these enemies have like ridiculous like defenses and stuff like that, right? So Eric has this ability, Critical Claim. This is a guaranteed crit, which means guaranteed kill on the King Metal Slime, or Vicious Metal King Slime. And then we're gonna get just like huge experience. And the metal slimes, they tend to run away, right? Like you need good luck that they won't just like immediately leave the fight. So luckily for us, we did, you know, have that. Well, at least we were able to kill the King Metal Slime, which was the huge one. And then here, I was just kind of like looking around, but we want abilities that like crit are the best way to take down the Metal Slimes. So we get just an absolutely massive, ridiculous amount of experience right there. And then you guys can see, bam, 99, 99, 99, 99. Characters just exploding in levels. And then a lot of those trophies we just saw, that's what a lot of these are right here. These are all trophies, you know, that will get us to like level 99, right? And the trophies are tied to these little accolades in game, which are, I mean, in game they're essentially kind of just like it's like trophies or achievements in the game itself, and the trophy is tied to the in-game like achievement little thing, like the, you know, flawless sorceress right there, like that popping. So there we go, there's that. All right, so that's the you know, high level trophy. Again, this is just you know, completing the story, beating the final boss. I guess maybe we'll just show like a turn or two against the final boss, and then we could talk more about this right here, the Casino Connoisseur. So there's, you know, a casino like huge like mini game in here, which I mean is very, you know, obvious. Like we're just trying to, you know, use tokens, like win big and stuff like that. And I mean, there's a couple of different mini games. I do have some footage of kind of like the, I guess the Dragon Quest like poker like type of mini game. We can go ahead and throw that in here.
けないわよ
Alright, so here's, again, some of the kind of, like, Dragon Quest, like, poker or whatever. Now, getting a lot of these casino achievements, I mean, this is just, like, you know, winning a lot of, like coins and stuff like that. And it's all, I mean, it's just, like, Dragon Quest gambling, right? So, you know, you just kind of, like, do that, and then it's like, you know, we could do double or nothing. Like, there's just, you know, there's slot machines. There's a couple of different kind of, like, gambling games that we could kind of, like, toy around with. And, I mean, you do need to spend some time in the casino, because, what is the trophy again? It's 10, casino, like, based achievements that you have to get, so... it does take a little bit of time, but it's not really the biggest deal. I didn't find it being, like, overly tedious or anything like that. I think a lot of the reason, though, is that I did just genuinely enjoy the game. I mean, it's like, this is one of my favorite games ever. I could easily say that. So, like, doing, like, all these types of mini-games and stuff like that, well, I'm already engrossed in the story. Like, I really like a lot of the characters. Again, I'm really looking forward to see what the next, like, twist and turn of the story is. You know, doing stuff like this doesn't really take me out of it or make me enjoy the game less. I mean, I'm sure it could, but I certainly didn't really have any issues while I was doing it. Alright, so there was that. That's all of the level trophies. We looked at, again, this is just, you know, beating the final boss, beating the story. And then, of course, we have the casino ones. This is one of the level ones as well. This is just like these challenges that you have to do. They're not really too tough. At least I didn't have really any difficulties with them. So I didn't really capture any footage of that. Although, I mean, we are in the really rare trophy section. Here's another level up trophy. You know, this one... Yeah, it makes sense, because just the way the story goes, this character, Serena, usually ends up being a little bit behind. And then we get the magic moments. This is just where you could choose to marry a character. As you're doing kind of like these trials, it's a wish that you're able to get. I didn't get any footage of that, but I don't really think a lot of those fights... or the dungeon you need to go through to get this. I don't think anything like in there was very challenging or very tough to kind of get done. And then this, okay, yeah, so this has been a thing in these Dragon Quest games for a long time, the Puff Puff. There's just random girls in like some towns, in some dungeons, and you talk to them and they just go, "You want a Puff Puff?" And you go, "Yes." And you're able to get this. Wow, so this one is super rare because it's just a set of NPCs you got to find around the game. And then we get to the ultra rare ones, and there's just these three. Okay, so this right here, the Savior of the Tockles Scriptures, this one is kind of interesting because Dragon Quest, the whole series, like, I am a huge Final Fantasy fan. I love Final Fantasy. It's probably my favorite game series of all time. It's what I grew up on. At the gym, I listen to Final Fantasy music. I love it so much. But Final Fantasy has, like, truly abandoned its roots. And what made Final Fantasy, they abandoned it. Like, I still love the series. I still try and give them an open mind. Final Fantasy 16 was another one of my favorite games ever. So, I do love that one for sure. But, I mean, it's just for, like, a real, like, again, old head fan like me. I mean, this is the type of game that I just have the most fun with. And Final Fantasy doesn't really ever, like, lean into that. Whereas, like, Dragon Quest... like, it just, like the game feels like a celebration of love to the whole series, right? And it's, like, still with the classic gameplay elements and stuff like that. And here, they do... So this was added for the Dragon Quest S version, like Dragon Quest 11 S version, where there's, like, a 2D mode you could do. Now, I had intended to record me popping this trophy, but I just made a silly Billy mistake. And I completed the thing that would have given me the trophy and it didn't pop. I was like, oh, that's weird. But then it's because, remember, it's tied to the in-game accolade. So I'll show the clip. This clip, I kind of, recorded against this fight. We're in the 2D mode. But I just kind of, cut it off quickly And it's like 2 seconds after I had originally ended the footage that I recorded is when I got it. But here, let's show this kind of like 2D gameplay that's in here as well. So right here, this is the exact same game. This is it. This is the same damn game. And then here we are. This is just, you know, you're able to swap into like this kind of like 2D world. This quest right here, this was the final one. So what there is it's a room and there's, you know, 10 books for the previous 10 Dragon Quest games. And what you're doing is you're going back into certain moments from the first 10 Dragon Quest games and kind of playing some of this out. So this like gameplay right here, this is, you know, what the original Dragon Quest games were like the very, very, very early ones. So like they kind of, again, like celebrating the whole series. You know, you see some characters from earlier Dragon Quests, right? You fight some bosses and recognize some, you know, moments and items and things like that. So that's what this was. Now, in order to get the plat, you do need to do all of these. I'll show the final trophy we have to get is collecting all of the clothes items, all the like. I guess I'll save it. Oh, here we'll just like finish off this boss right here. Again, I cut the clip off after like, you know, kind of like beating the boss, like completing the whole like sort of like the books. I think we do show that here at the end of this, and then I just kind of like cut the clip off, and then it's like once you leave the 2D world and go back to kind of like the 3D world, that was when the accolade would pop, and then the actual like trophy would pop. I feel like a lot of these fights weren't really too challenging. I mean, we could see here that like this at this point I was already level 99. So, I mean, I was very overpowered, but, I mean, it's kind of just the way I enjoy a lot of games like these. I do kind of just roll my way through the story overpowered as shit in, like, any, like, type of game I can. Like, just get, like, overpowered and crush it. I mean, that's just, you know, people have different ways that they have fun with these games, and that's a big way I have fun, right? It's just, like, crushing the fight, all of these, like, you know, like, the story with overwhelming, over-leveled power. That's what your boy does. So, you know, we have to beat that guy. We could just, you know, go ahead and use the evac spell to just teleport right back to the beginning of the dungeon. We can complete the quest. And then once we leave, we can kind of see the room with the statues. Again, the books of the first 10 Dragon Quest games. I'm definitely very excited, by the way. So, like, they did the HD, like, 2D remake for Dragon Quest 3, which I did get the platinum and play through in December. I actually really wish I would have started making these platinum videos beforehand, because I could have made one for that one. But Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are getting one of those HD 2D remakes this year. So I'll definitely do one of these videos on that. Yeah, so here we go. There's all the books for all of the different previous Dragon Quest games. And then once you complete the book, you know, the statue will appear, which was the protagonist of each of those Dragon Quest games. So at this moment right there, once that staircase opens, that's the trigger to unlock that Tockle trophy we looked at. But we need to actually leave and head back to the 3D world for it to pop. So we've already completed the prerequisite for that. So we are done with this one right here. All right, so that was, again, the, you know, last thing we had to do to get this trophy. And then this one right here. So this is collecting all of the different costumes for characters. Now, this is something you're working through the entire game, right? Like, you'll find recipes with outfits you can craft. You get outfits for beating bosses. You get outfits from the casino. You get outfits from, like, literally everything, right? So that's why this is the, you know, the hardest, I guess, trophy to get, or the lowest rate of players who have gotten this trophy, right? Is because you have to do so much. And then specifically with Dragon Quest S, once you obtain all of the outfits in the game, right, which you even do get an outfit from doing this right here, the Wheel of Harma, right, like doing those challenges. Once you have all the outfits in the game, there is a final very broken OP outfit for the character Jade or Martina that we can get, which basically gives her like auto revive, like she could just never be killed. But in order to do that, there is a boss gauntlet that opens up after we get the Savior of the Tockles Scriptures trophy in the 2D world, Once we beat the boss gauntlet, then that opens up like the, I guess, the super secret super boss, just kind of in the 3D world. And then once we beat him, that actually unlocks that final outfit, and then that's where we could get the platinum trophy. Now, I believe because the game has like the 2D and 3D elements to it, you can just play the whole game, not even in 3D, but just kind of like in like a 2D like type mode. Because of the way it works, I believe you're able to kind of like set up almost like a chapter select thing. And that outfit for Jade or Martina, which auto revives, there is a section in the story way earlier in the game. Here, it's this one. It's... Where is it? Yeah, it's this one, Light of Hope. Yeah, I believe Light of Hope right here. This one right here, this is a trophy that you get from doing kind of like an interlude after the world is destroyed. The World Tree trophy, that's when the world is destroyed. And then for this version, Dragon Quest XI-S, this version, there is these kind of like interludes that were added, the Light of Hope trophy. And in that sequence right there, the character Jade does have that broken outfit on for a little bit. So I believe if you have every other outfit in the game, you can kind of just go to that moment and it will trigger having every outfit. But I guess, I mean, we'll just show clips of the 2D boss gauntlet and then as well as, you know, the 3D like super final boss as well. All right, so here is the completion of kind of the boss gauntlet in the 2D world, which is this end of time super boss. This is basically just a harder version of the final boss that you fight. I mean, you could see that it's like kind of the same character. I mean, by the way, his design is like very similar to Cell from Dragon Ball. You can really, like the actual like Kalasmos, the final boss in game, like he does like his colors and stuff like that. Like he is very Cell-ish. But this one, the end of time, I mean, he doesn't really have kind of like the green color that Kalasmos has. But this is, it's a boss gauntlet. There's a series of fights you have to do. You know, so, like you basically fight an enemy for each of the Dragon Quest games. And then once we complete this fight, once we beat the end of time, that unlocks the, you know, final super secret boss, again, in the 3D world, who we're going to be able to fight. This guy was, I didn't really have any issues with this guy at the end of time. He didn't really seem too tough. I mean, again, I was pretty overpowered at this point, but I didn't really have very many struggles. I mean, it's pretty easy to, like, if you know what you're doing, to just get to level 99. So, like, doing that and then doing all this stuff, I mean, it obviously is going to help out significantly, right? So, all right, here's the boss gauntlet for 2D. Let's take a look at the super secret, like, mega ultimate, like, final, like, end boss. All right, so cutting around a little bit, not to, I guess, I don't know, show too much. Well, whatever. Okay, so here is the super mega secret final boss that we have to beat in order to get the final costume for Jade. This is kind of just like a redo of, I guess, like the halfway point game boss, which, I mean, we did show a little bit of footage earlier on. This guy actually was pretty challenging, but we could just use this, like, incredibly OP ability right here. That pep pop item is so busted, allowing your whole team just instantly be pepped up, right? So this ability, if all 4 characters are pepped up, this makes us invincible for a couple of turns. So obviously that's, like, really strong, right? Because we're just immune to enemy attacks. And then the equipment I have on us is I have 2, it's like Kath Loken ring or something like that, which has, I think, a 50% chance to nullify like all status effects, and then I have 2 of them on each character, so we just can't be hit with status debuffs, and then we're immune to attacks like this. Now the boss does have an attack that does cancel it, so we have to constantly be using like or at least my strategy is I was using the pep pops constantly, the Yggdrasil's blessing to kind of like block all attacks. It was kind of a long fight. I mean, the fight was like 20 minutes or something like that. But eventually, you know, we are kind of able to get through, you know, spamming that ability to make us kind of like invulnerable. And then eventually we're able to take him down. Now, right here, this again will get us the final costume that we needed to get in order to get the platinum trophy here. Which, of course, is the hair-raising suit. That is it, the hair-raising suit, which took, you know, a little bit, you know, 300 hours for your boy to get there. And then after this, we're going to be kind of like teleported back to the world map. And then remember, once the in-game accolades pop, that's when we are going to go ahead and get the trophy. And then, of course, the platinum trophy as well. Since this was the, whatchamacallit, the final trophy I needed to get right here. So, all right, here we go. There's that. Time Worm. Yep, you're done, buddy. See ya. Okay, yep, we beat him quickly. And then there it is right there. We got all of Jade's outfits, and then thus the platinum trophy pops as well. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Definitely had a lot of fun grinding this one out. So there we go. There is all of the trophies obtained. Again, I started kind of like recording footage like a good halfway through the game. Although, I mean, I don't know that like early on, like I would probably, if we're going to get like a lot of footage in here, I probably would want it to be from kind of the most challenging trophies. But maybe for, you know, future games, we'll try and get a lot more, I guess, like footage of like some of these like difficult to obtain trophies and whatnot. So, all right, there is that. And we can end right here on my favorite trophy site. So there we go. We got it completed. 3 months and 3 weeks is what it took for your boy to actually drop the platinum here. Now, on this site, I mean, the kind of has like some of the different percentages, right? 2.8, that's obviously the PSN percent, and then just people on the site is at 13. But there we go. We got this one completed. Dragon Quest 11S. Very, very fun. So we'll finish this out here. This was an awesome game. Definitely had a really, 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 really fun time recording this one, grinding this one out. I'm not sure what the next Platinum Trophy video I'll do. I was thinking about doing one for that goofy, horrible Walking Dead game, but we'll see. Dragon Quest XI, I cannot praise this game enough. Funny, like, if we look at this, right, so we could see all of the, like, different Dragon Quest games that have trophies in here, right? Like, there's, you know, quite a few, but a lot of them are, like, Japanese and stuff like that. I enjoyed the game so much. I think I'm going to go into kind of the vanilla version of the game, like the original kind of like regular version right here. I'm considering just jumping in and just platting this one. I probably won't do a video for it since this is like, it's actually the same game and the trophy list is almost exactly the same. But yeah, definitely like really, really great game. I can't praise it enough. Can't say how much I love it enough. So, let me know what you guys think, but Dragon Quest XI, whoo, damn, that game is good.